So today I'm going to be giving you my first impressions on H24 by Hermes. This one has been a bit divisive so far. Some people seem to like it, some not so much, and really I wasn't expecting a new release from Hermes. I don't know, I just kind of forget about the brand sometimes, and you get caught up in Paco Rabanne and Dolce & Gabbana and all these other brands putting out new stuff all the time, Carolina Herrera, and Hermes is kind of one that just kind of gets lost in the shuffle sometimes. So when I saw this one come out, I was pretty intrigued. This one is available online in the United States. This one is available online in the US. So if you want to grab a bottle for yourself, you can do so. I'll try to find a link for you down below. Let's go ahead and pop this one open, spray it on, and I'll let you know my initial thoughts. So here's the bottle. The bottle does look nice, pretty sharp. It's got a different look to it. This one is one that will stand out from all of your other bottles and will be pretty easy to pick out. When you see this one, you're gonna know it's H24. Pretty cool. Let's see, does it have a magnetic cap? It does not have a magnetic cap. No big deal, doesn't really matter, but I was kind of hoping for that. That would have really taken the presentation to the next step. So we're gonna do a spray on paper, nice atomizer, already came primed, which is always funny. And I'm gonna do a spray on my hand real quick as well, just to let that start drying down as we go on. Let's go ahead and give this one a smell. Okay, so right off the bat, what I notice here is that it has this maturity about it. This kind of somewhat aromatic fougere feeling about it. Just that kind of mature sexiness going on. And that's apparent right off the bat. Let's take a look at the official note breakdown for this one. We have clary sage, narcissus, palisander, rosewood, and metallic notes. So a pretty vague note breakdown here to tell you what I get right off the bat. Definitely get that clary sage in here. Gives it a nice herbalness. The narcissus comes through right away, giving it this floral touch. It's a yellow floral, I believe. And so that's gonna throw some people off. You're looking at a men's fragrance and it has quite a bit of a floral touch to it. Not everyone's gonna like that. And I will say it definitely smells better on skin, so we'll get rid of that tester strip. It gets a little bit powdery, a little bit smooth, slightly warm. Right off the bat, I'm not really picking up on too much of a metallic smell. Maybe a little bit, actually, just a little bit of a metallic touch. Really just a little bit of a spiciness though as well. Nice woodiness in here. The opening I find to be pretty interesting, pretty different. Right off the bat, it's not smelling like too many other designer fragrances that I've smelled before. I really like the aromatic touch about this one. It just gives it that gentleman smell like I was talking about, and that is very, very prominent and very popular with the Terre d'Hermes fragrances, all of the flankers. Eau Très Fresh even has it, the Parfum, the original, and so on. They all have this masculine gentleman smell. And I just get a hint of that aromatic fougere touch in the base of this one, and it's just because it is a very aromatic scent, but you do get that nice floral touch, a lot of clary sage, and a little bit of a metallic twist. For me, when I smell this one, it kind of gives off the vibe of like a older Chanel, like Pour Monsieur. That one is a really good one in all of its different versions as well. Kind of gives off like a similar vibe to an Acqua di Parma fragrance, just this kind of masculine, mature, somewhat old school smelling, and that's really, it doesn't smell necessarily old school, but I'm trying to figure out how to describe it. Just a bit of this more upscale, masculine, traditional type of smell, I guess is a great word. It has a traditional scent to it, kind of comparing to fragrances from Acqua di Parma, Chanel Pour Monsieur, some older Dior fragrances. This one gets compared to Eau Sauvage on Fragrantica, and that's a pretty solid-ish comparison a little bit. Kind of in the same vibe. I wouldn't necessarily say it smells a lot like that fragrance, but it does give off this kind of classic, traditional smelling men's fragrance. Even though it does have that floral touch, it is kind of buried behind the clary sage, and you got the metallic notes and the nice woods in here. So it does fit in really well, and it still has a masculine forward to it. It doesn't go feminine with the florals in here. It stays head on being a masculine, mature fragrance. I find this one to have an overall grassy green type of smell too. Now what I do want to do is let this one dry down on my skin, and then I'm going to come back to you guys here after a little while and then kind of update you on the dry down of this one. So I'll see you in a minute. Alrighty guys, I'm back. I've given this one some time to dry down on my skin, and I also had my girlfriend check this one out while I was away. You guys often seem to want me to go get my girlfriend's thoughts on a lot of these fragrances as I'm doing my first impressions on them, so I had her smell this one, and immediately she said she really liked it. And interestingly enough, I didn't give her any information on this. I just let her smell it and give her thoughts, but she said it kind of reminded her of Yves Saint Laurent Rive Gauche. She actually really likes that fragrance on me, and which is great because I love that fragrance. I love aromatic fougères. She said it reminded her of that, but just more of a summery version. And that's kind of what I was talking about at the beginning of the video. It has that aromatic fougère quality just a little bit, but it also goes off in maybe a bit more of a modern direction. So that is a pretty solid comparison. It just kind of touches on some more traditional fragrances and puts a modern, clean, fresh twist on it. Now what I have found is that as this one dries down, it starts to get a little bit on the boring side for me. The opening really caught me off guard, and for the better. It really surprised me. The opening really caught my attention. It's one that really kind of starts off on the right foot. It really kind of brings you in, makes you want to keep smelling it. However, as I've been smelling it, as it's been drying down, it gets to be a bit more on the boring side. If this one could keep that opening and keep it going and really transition into something nice, I think we would have a really good winner here. But as it sits in the dry down, it does kind of lose some of that spark, some of that magic that it opens up with. Again, my girlfriend did smell it in the dry down, and she did really like it. She gave it, I think, an 8.5 is what she said, which is pretty solid. So I think this one will be a good, clean, fresh compliment getter, one that will definitely garner you some positive feedback, one that will be great to wear dressed up, upscaled, and nice work events. But I just think it is lacking a little bit there in the dry down. However, I do really like this one, especially off the opening. I can see this one making it into my videos in the future. I will do a full review on this one at some point. My final thoughts here so far: opening is great, dry down leaves a bit to be desired, but ultimately I do think it's going to be a nice, clean, fresh compliment getter. My girlfriend really likes this one, and I think a lot of women out there will find this one to be kind of sexy and masculine. Nice one for summertime as well. So guys, that's going to do it for me. That was my thoughts on H24 by Hermes. If you guys have tried this one, let me know what you think of it so far down below. If you haven't tried this one, let me know. Are you excited to try this one? Are you going to pass on it? What is your thoughts? That's going to do it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.